everyone, I'm More Engadget, and I'm here with Kyle Dirksen, the creator of OneWheel, to check out the OneWheel. We first saw this at CES last year, and now it's not a Kickstarter product, it's on the production line. What's new? What's changed in the last year with OneWheel?
That's right. So when we went to CES, we really had a prototype of the OneWheel, and it functioned. It was kind of a proof of concept. But since then, we've really re-engineered everything. So we got a totally new custom motor. We're working with a really cool company that developed that specifically for us. And we developed a new kind of motor controller. So to get into the tech of it, back then we were using what's called a trapezoidal controller. Now we're using a field-oriented controller. That means it's much smoother, it's much more powerful, and from a rider's perspective, you can go faster, you can go up and down steeper hills. We really totally re-engineered everything. So we added waterproofing, we integrated the LED lighting, which is one of our stretch goals on Kickstarter, and we changed the way we detect whether there's a rider on it.
And you've sent a lot of these out to early backers who received pre-production versions before it hit the production line. What did they think about the change from the button? Did they lose tactile feedback? Did that make writing it easier or harder?
One of the beauties of Kickstarter is you get to kind of co-develop the product with your customers, right? And so based on the feedback of those first dozen people that actually have OneWheels now, we were able to tweak the firmware. The rider detect works great. We just added some indications on the grip tape that actually show you where the rider detect is. And so we've updated the firmware so that now it's smoother, and people are running into some little difficulties with dropping off a little step. So we reworked the firmware, retuned a few things, and actually were able to update the firmware on the early backers boards.
Early backers have had this for about a month now. When can regular backers, not early birds, expect to have their board shipped?
Those boards start shipping out next week, so it's a really exciting time for us. So right now we're still in a pre-order stage, and there's a limited number of boards still available, where if you pre-order them now, you'll get them in December. So between now and December, we're shipping all the Kickstarter boards, plus everyone else who's pre-ordered the board since then, which is quite a few OneWheels.
So now you've got the board from the Kickstarter we saw in January at CES to the final version. What's next now that you've got this project complete?
Yeah, so it might feel like we have this complete, but really we're just beginning to get this out to people and see what they do with it. We really see developing OneWheel as a new board sport. So for us, it's going to be a feedback loop of seeing what people try to do, what they think they can do. Maybe we need to change the firmware and things like that to let them do it better. And then obviously we've got some version 2 products we're working on in the lab that extend this concept even farther.
Swiping between menus and through open applications and firing up apps and closing them and scrolling through long web pages is absolutely buttery smooth. It's a sight to behold.